2. You didn't stay there long enough. Good morning, Magic players and collectors of all kinds. I wanted to give you guys a quick view of the pug since I am going to get to film this at home. At least, hopefully, the majority of it. My dad's out right now. I don't know when he's going to be back. Speaking of which, I'm going to turn off the fan because it'll be easier for me to hear the door when the screen door opens, so I know when to stop. If need be, I will finish this in the car, but for now, we're going to do this here and hope for the best. And then once I'm done this, I'm going to edit the vet video from yesterday, and I'm going to bed because I am whooped. So, as you would have saw in the title card, we are doing 1, 2, 100 today. Hopefully the box did not fall apart this time. I keep forgetting it. I'm supposed to check that. And I did lose 1. But it doesn't look like it's going to affect too much. I just gotta find where the first creature is. I think it's that one. Yes. Okay. And we should be good to go. Alright, so I put a vote out there about a week or so ago about how to build this deck, whether to build it completely in set deck or to build it more optimized to do what it's supposed to do, which the main goal of the deck originally was to put in a bunch of things that would let me tap and untap Marina Vendrell, because Vendrell's ability is ignoring the top. Tap her to lock or unlock a door of target room you control. So if you have a way to untap her a couple times in the turn, then in theory, you could use her ability 3 or 4 times to unlock many different doors. And as we've gone over before, when we looked at our core of our deck so far, the main goal of this deck, I'm just going to find the one we need, because there's no point in looking at all of them right now, since we've done these ones many times before, is to get through Promising Stairs as a winning goal. So if we can trigger Promising Stairs ability at the beginning of our upkeep, then we automatically win the game if we have 8 or more different names among unlocked doors. So we have acquired 19 different room cards, which gives us a total of 38 rooms to go into, which is quite a few. But we need to get that one on board and then have Marina do her thing a few times to try and make sure that we can pull that off in like a single turn. Because that's not going to last for more than one turn. People are definitely going to try and exile that as soon as possible if they can. And since I can't play enchantments with flash attached to them in this deck so far, we're unfortunately stuck where we are with that. We did add 5 extra creatures, all of whom have a nice little ability that goes to the rooms somehow, some way. This one lets me unlock locked door if it deals combat damage. So if I get Marina to lock something, this one can unlock it. At least that gets me two triggers in a turn. And all the other ones have an eerie ability where if I have a certain number of rooms, then I get to do something at a certain point. So, for example, this one, whenever an enchantment you control enters, or whenever you fully unlock a room, you get to make a gremlin. This one, whenever an enchantment you control enters, or whenever you fully unlock a room, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn, so not bad. That's probably the worst one out of the four. This one, whenever an enchantment you control enters, and whenever you fully unlock a room, each opponent loses life. I do love that one because I'm always fond of taking people's life away. And then this one actually lets you mill people's decks, I believe. Yeah. So pretty solid all around. The worst one definitely being the red one. But they're all pretty good includes, and that brought us up to a total of 25 cards so far. So what we're going to do today is, as I say, I want to discuss that poll. And ultimately, what I think I want to do is I want to build an inset deck, with the exception of one card. I was going through my collection, looking for something completely different. I was building, repairing one of my other decks, like trying to touch it up to make it more efficient. And I came across this. And I feel like this has to be included in this deck because it feels like it's the best deck to include it in. First off, it has to go into a WUBRG deck. It has to go into a deck with 5 colors, so I have no choice but to play it in a deck that can do that. But the other thing is this is a door, and it won't count as a room, of course, but since Marina likes to unlock and lock doors, I thought it would be really funny to have this door available in my deck. And so what this does is, when it comes into play, it enters battlefield tapped, which, whatever. And then at any point you can pay all the mana twice, so 2 white, 2 blue, 2 black, 2 red, 2 green. Tap this and sacrifice it, and then somebody automatically loses the game. And I thought that that's just a hilarious thing to include in this deck. There were a few other cards that were kind of like this that I was thinking about including. False Floor was one of them I thought would be kind of funny. But ultimately I decided if I'm going to break the whole set thing, the only way I'm going to do it is for this card. That being said, I'm going to make that decision at the end, once we've gone through the actual cards that I have for the set. Because if I have enough cards in the set, and I mean, I clearly definitely do have a lot of cards in the set. These are all creatures, and these are all anything that isn't a creature. So there's quite a few cards in the set that I own, and I'm not currently using in a deck. So there's a really good chance I won't include Door to Nothingness in this deck. I will try and keep it an entirely in-set deck. And the reason why I want to do that largely is because I think that that would be really fun as an experiment to do. I've never built an entire one-set deck before. I've built decks that had one set at their core, but other stuff added in that helped boost those things. For example, all my Avatar decks are going to be decks that heavily focus on the Avatar cards and whatever theme each of those cards is doing. But I'm going to definitely include other things in them, as you've seen, to help support those cards. On the other hand, though, this, I think, would be really funny to build as an entire one-set deck. And it won't function as well as it could, I understand that. But it will be a nice little bracket 1 deck that I can play for shits and giggles kind of thing. Pardon the swear. Anywho, so what I want to do today real quick before my dad comes back is I want to go through the land stack because I've decided on the lands that I'm going to include. And then I want to crack this. I got this as like a treat to myself for a boost for my mental health kind of thing, since my mental wellness really hasn't been the best over the last few months, and culminating not this week, or not last week, but the week before, in some pretty bad stuff. I decide that every now and again, I want to celebrate little things, and this is my celebration of doing a full week of work last week without having to take a day off for my mental wellness. I'm not going to do that every time. The next time I want to celebrate something will be if I can make it an entire month without having to take a day off. I'm going to celebrate again. But I thought celebrating after the first week was a good idea. Anywho, um, and I'm going to thank Gaming Grandma for being for me being able to purchase this because I'm using a little bit of the money from the Patreon membership that she purchased. So thank you for being my first and awesome member of the community. Anywho, let's do these lands. Really quick, I do not obviously have access to all the lands for this set. That is the only thing that I won't be able to do is an in-house land set, unfortunately. I have one commander deck in this set, but I don't want to break up the cards in it in any way, shape, or form, so I can't get the command tower out of it. And I actually just don't have a lot of Duskmourn lands, unfortunately. But I think I've picked out some pretty nice lands to go in this set, so I'm happy with the ones I've picked. I believe there are 37 in total, but we'll count as we go. So we've got Command Tower, Exotic Orchard. I thought like the orchard could be outside in like the courtyard of the house. Maybe the house has like an outer section. This could be like a tower on the side of the house. I decided to include my two lands from Clue that I own that are not the really crazy expensive one. So I have a hall and a billiard room. I figure, you know what, they're rooms. So it kind of felt like it fit the theme. I've got the Terramorphic Expanse that did come from this set, which is kind of creepy, but I like it. I've got a bunch of lands from this set that really aren't like house lands per se, but they could all be places around the house. So we've got the Etched Cornfield. We've got a Peculiar Lighthouse that could be like next to the command tower. We've got an abandoned campground. We've got a lakeside shack. We've got a bleeding woods, sorry, not breeding. Oh my goodness. That is bad. We've got a Razor Trap Gorge and a Murky Sewer. I believe that's the last one. Yeah. So the idea of this set, just in case you are unfamiliar with it, because a lot of the people who watch these videos watch them just because you guys are amazing. This set was based on like the 70s and 80s horror movies. So basically the idea being like, for example, Etched Cornfield would be like something from Signs. I'm not really sure what the lighthouse is from off the top of my head. I'm assuming that one is definitely Jason Voorhees hangout. That's probably something out of Freddy Krueger's Nightmares, and so on and so forth. Anywho, I also included, I believe it was 4 of each basic, or was it 5? It was 5 of each basic in the deck. Okay, so we've got mountains. I tried to pick things that either looked like rooms or looked like they had rooms in them. We've got some islands. That one actually comes from the set. And I think that's the only one so far. Yeah, the mountains, I didn't have any, unfortunately. Duskmourn Mountains. I have one island there. I think I have a 4 island maybe at the back here too, if I remember correctly. Nope, that was a Capenna, new Capenna one. We got plains. There's the plains from this set. And I actually have like 4 of them, I think. So I included all 4 of them. Nope, just 3. Pardon me. And a beautiful full art one, which has like a nice little train. So I thought the train could take you different places in the house, because the other idea of the set is the whole house is like an entire planet-sized house kind of thing. So that's why I say like the lands outside the house could be all those random fields. I didn't have any forests for Duskmourn, but I thought the nice stained glass forest was a good full art one to include. I'm pretty sure I don't have any Duskmourn swamps either. Oh, I do have one. That one's actually one of my favorite swamps. I forgot about that one. It's very pretty. So yeah, so those are the 37 lands, if I remember correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 plus 25, 37. Yes. 37 lands plus 25 cards so far brings us up to a total of 62. So 62 cards in. That means we only have another 38 choices, which is the other reason why I think it's probably going to stay an in-house set, or an in-set deck. I mean, an in-house set. That's funny. Because I really want to include as many Dustmourne cards as possible, and it kind of pains me that I can't include more Dustmourne lands because I just don't own them. So either that or I've already put them into other decks and I don't want to switch them out. Because if I put them into a deck, it was because I like the way the thematic flow of the deck was. I usually try to make all my lands have kind of like a theme to them, sort of like thing. They might not come from the same set. Most of the time they don't. But they have some sort of like connecting reason why I've included those specific ones. Anyway, I want to keep this short, so let's get into this, and then I'm going to get you guys out of here. See if we get anything cool out of this today. And we will come back to revisit the deck next time. We might pull some Dustmourne cards out of here. It is possible. So we got a 4-card pack, a 3-card pack, a 10-card pack, and a lands pack. Nice. No sleeves this time, but no premium pack either. So, although they're calling this a premium pack, but I mean like an actual like pack of cards as a bonus. Anywho, I think we'll go in order of descending order. So we'll do the 10 card first, then we'll do the 6 lands, then the 4, and then the 3 at the end. Can we pull anything for Dustmourne to add to our collection that we don't already own? I'm still gonna like all these cards anyways, because I always am happy to add more stuff to my collection. I just want to make sure they're all facing the right way. Some of these are a little bit bent this time. I'm not sure if that was me, possibly in my bag, transporting them back and forth the last couple of days, because I wasn't sure if I could get it done at work or not. Or it might just be the packaging itself. Callum's Captain. 3 and 2 white for a 5/5 Giant Soldier Vigilance. Monstrosity 3, so you get to put 3+1/+1 counters on it and make it monstrous. And once it's monstrous, you exile all artifacts and enchantments. Damn! That's vicious. I kind of like it. It's the first time I've ever pulled one of those. Choked Estuary. Ooh, it's a Final Fantasy land. As it enters, you may reveal an island or a swamp from your hand. If you don't, it enters tapped, and taps for blue or black. Goblin War Paint. Enchanted creature is +2/+2 and has haste. Ooh, nice. Always like things that gave haste. For those who don't play, haste means that you can swing right away with the creature. Otherwise, in Magic, you have to wait a turn. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, this thing gains first strike until end turn. I can't remember if I have one of these or not in my Toph landfall deck, but I do have another deck that I'm going to be building with Toph that will also have some landfall-y-ish stuff. Not as much of a focus on it, though. That one's going to be more of a Voltron deck, the next one I build. Bloodbraid Elf. Although I haven't decided yet if I want to build the Toph one next, or if I want to build the Azula one next. This has haste and cascade. Okay. That's not bad. I haven't pulled I don't think I've pulled a double yet so far today, so that's pretty good. And then I just jinxed it when I said that. But this is a hollow one, which is nice. And it's a decent card. When it enters battlefield, target opponent exiles a card from their hand. It's a nice little one to just throw in to mess with somebody's plan. They get to choose the card, I believe. It's not random. Yeah. But still, it can mess up somebody's plan. Zoidic Glyph. 2 and a blue. Enchant Artifact. Enchanted Artifact is a golem creature with base power and toughness 5/4. And when it's put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you get to discover 3. Ooh, discover is like Cascade, but you can put it into your hand instead of on the battlefield if you don't want it to play it right away. We got a new snow creature. I haven't pulled one of these before, so when we build that snow deck eventually, this is going to be kind of neat to possibly consider for it. Pay a snow, gets +2/+2, but you can only do it once per turn. Still, you can turn it into a 4/4. It's not bad. Coming attraction. I do want to eventually start building some unset decks. I think that might be the next thing we get into after the Frost deck for 1/100. We might do an unset deck. But we are going to do that snow deck next after we finish Marina's. And the last of the 10 cards is Death's Presence. 5 and a green. Whenever your creature you control dies, put a +1 X +1/+1 counter, on target creature you control, where X is the power of the creature that died. Damn! Okay, that is a sick pull. And I have already edited the mono green deck that I love, but I might put it back on, or I might do something else. Who knows? With this is definitely a huge hit, though. I like this card a lot. Out of that pack, the only thing that I pulled that I've never had, that I probably had before, were the Coming Attraction and the Frost Snail, or the Skullcap Snail, though. Everything else is brand new to me. That's pretty cool. That doesn't happen that often. Can we get some Dustmore lands? That'd be cool. I would love some Dustmore lands to add to the deck, so I can change the consistency of all the different ones that are in there so far. We've got not Dustmorn, but a pretty mountain. I like that one. I've pulled that island many times. Lord of the Rings mountain. Okay. It's a common plains to pull. It's a common forest to pull. And I like that mountain, though, so I'm happy with that. Alright, we've got Stern Constable. 1 white, tap it to discard a card and tap target creature. Ew, I don't like that very much at all. I'm sure there's a deck that's going to be useful in, but it's going to take me a bit to think of one. I mean, the best thing to do with that probably would be if you wanted to, like, if you had a deck where every time you discard, everybody else has to discard, that would probably be pretty badass, actually, in that. But I think the only deck that I have that focuses on that kind of thing is blue, black, and red, so that won't work in there. Morbid Bloom? I do like this one. Remove target creature in a graveyard from a game, then put X green 1/1 green sapperling creatures into play where X is the remove card's toughness. That is a fun one to play in the right deck. I have a couple copies of that one already, but it is a good one for sure. Tap target creature, Sonic Assault does 2 damage to that creature's controller. And you can play this again from your graveyard by discarding something and then paying the regular cost otherwise. And Grapple with Death. Destroy target artifact or creature, you gain 1 life. Yeah, okay, that's pretty straightforward. Not too expensive either. It's like murder, but it can also hit artifacts. And finally, we have 3 premium cards. I wonder what they believe a premium card to be. Let's see. Here we go, we got Murder. Speaking of murder, ooh, but it is a Dustmore Murder. I don't know if I had a holo version of this, so I might switch out the one that I already put in the box over there for the murder that we just pulled. Call to the Void, sorry. Each player secretly chooses a creature they control and a creature they don't control. Then those choices are revealed. Destroy each creature chosen this way. Damn! That thing's vicious. I like it a lot. And a Game Trail. Ooh. If you have a mountain or forest, it comes into play untapped. Otherwise, it comes into play tapped. Nothing wrong with that. I like it. Nice little extra land for the pile over there. Alright. Some pretty decent pulls. Not going to say they weren't. I'm going to flick through here and see if I can find the murder to see if I have a one with Did I not pull a murder? Oh, there it is. It is not holo, so we have a new holo. Yay! That's always fun. I like shiny things. Alright. Much love to you all from Kaiba the Puck. Let's go see if we can see him before I actually sign out. And myself to you, take care. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Ooh, somebody woke up. Did you wake up? Yeah, did you wake up? Oh my goodness. Yeah, beautiful face. Who's a beautiful puggy? You're a beautiful puggy. But it's still too hot to go outside. So we're going to go for a little sleep first. And then we'll go for a walk later this evening, okay? Thanks for watching, guys. Love you. Bye.